2009 Toyota Tacoma. We got a list of things to fix on it, and I found a few more things that weren't even on the list. We'll start with the first one on the list. Truck standard. That'll play into it in a minute. Turn the clutch off so I don't have to push on it. The exhaust leak is one of those things. We got some lights on the dash. Some stuff is going on. Here's the interesting part. Turn the key off. It's still running. Well, that's a problem. And if we look up here, oh, that's the antenna for the remote start. That's going to play into it also. So we got a standard and we got remote start. Let's try this. If we release the emergency brake, everything turns off. So on a standard, the emergency brake is needed for the remote start to operate. It doesn't guarantee you're in neutral, but it does kind of slow the truck down as it runs into the side of your house. So that switch is necessary for the remote start to work. And for some reason, when we start it, the remote start keeps it going. So we're just going to remove that. That should be a quick fix. I think we got all the tools we need. We had a trim puller, another trim puller. Philip said it's actually JIS because it's Jap, so it's probably got the little dots on the screws, and our 10 millimeter. We're going to start working our way forward. Trim here. Use your trim puller. Second, what do we got here? This comes straight out. Lift on that. Little clippy clip. Get that out of there. This is going to be an entertaining video. No sense editing any of that out. Pull this forward. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, all right. We got some fuses up here. Relays from the remote start. I think we're going to keep following that and try and disconnect as much as we can and put it back to factory. Let's see. Cover over here pops down. Of course, 10 millimeter under there. What's that? You want me to edit out the boring stuff? We'll keep going. Can't make a half-hour video if 22 minutes of it isn't garbage and boring. Clip that. Oh, we're getting to the good stuff in here. Some wires. Slide that cover out. This should unclip. There we go. That clip should come off. And we're left with the hood cable, and I'm going to put the phone down for that. Drop this panel out of the way after disconnecting these wires here, and we'll get to work to seeing what the remote start people did. Okay, we added one more tool, alternate lifestyle pliers. Now, we took the metal plate, this thing here, down from under the steering column, and we're going to start unwrapping the tape off these harnesses. See what they got going on here. I see some delightful splices in here. What's this guy doing over here? That might have been an option that we didn't need because it took too long to hook up. So we're just gonna go along here and cut the coke. Maybe I'll put the phone down and do that with both hands. Nick a few less wires. Be right back. Okay, we have a treat now. Pull the module out. We got a couple of fuses, 2 relays. I was able to just open up the plastic on the steering column enough without having to pull the wheel to get to that screw in there, so that I could unplug this connector from the back of the ignition switch and have a look at how they tapped in. All they did was twist the wire around the factory wire, but they didn't do any damage to it. So we're gonna put some liquid electrical tape on there, seal that up, tape it again, get rid of all these wires that were tapped in. And the only concern I have is, what did they do for the anti-theft system? So before we get too crazy, I'm probably just going to unplug the module, verify the truck starts, and nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to go all in. We're just going to disconnect all of this and then see if it starts. So we got some taps up here in the fuse box. Let's see, they use the same method on that. Yep, same method there. Oh, good, they use all red wires. What is going on here? All right, so that one comes out. Oh, this is a good one. We got the old 22 gauge, 2 other wire leads, 2, 3 additional wires that go up into the fuse box. Good, we'll clean this up. I'll be back in a minute. We're back. So we use a little liquid electrical tape and a decent quality physical tape on top of it. We got rid of all the wiring, module. We're back to having these switches for the dash. One more for the is that tire pressure monitor system set. We got our harness taped back up, fixed back up for the key switch. And all the rest of the wires are removed down through here. We clean those up. And we're ready to put the dash back in. I'll hit pause again. Put the dash in. Still haven't tried it yet. Yeah, we'll put the dash back together, then we'll try it. And before everything goes back together, we're going to go ahead and vacuum out this stuff. You never know what you're going to find in here. Let's see what we got. Oh, an almond. Oh, still good. Some wrappers. All right, we'll vacuum this out. All right. Got it kind of vacuumed up, cleaned up a little bit. See if we can hold this at the same time we plug these in. Yeah. Can't see anything back here. Let's see, that one probably plugs in like that. This one here, something like that. Again, riveting, entertaining, and interesting. Where does that clip go? Gotta make sure you put them all back, otherwise you get rattles. There we go. And this liner clips up in there. That one goes up in there. Oh, this would have been easier if I wasn't holding the phone. All right, phone's going down for a minute. We'll get in here for the exciting one. Reach in underhanded. Put the little spinner on it. Click, torqued, close the door. I'll trap the whoa, whoa, careful now. There. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Key. Neutral. That is fun. Press the old bypass. Don't need your foot on it. Here we go. Oh. Make sure it's running. And does it turn off? Oh, nice. Okay, take that one off the list. Yeah. There, is it done? Yep, I don't have a pen. Just make sure it's not readable. Got it. Done. Oh, and we found 60 cents. Checking the light bulbs. The ones in the back look good. We're missing that corner light over here. That one's working. Oh, that is nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting distracted. Cedar. Ooh, nice. Oh, part of the alarm. I'm gonna need screw guns for that. Get that out of there. Extra pieces. Yeah. Why do you get distracted all the time? I don't know. I saw a leaf over there. Okay, back to this. Bulb's out. Yeah. Turn the light on here. Oh, well, I can get that from here. Yeah. Oh. Well. If that one's an amber, that one's probably missing all its color. We'll grab 2 bulbs for that. Put that there for now. Put this one in over here. Yeah. Okay. Put that back through. Oh, that's looking nice in there. Here. Yeah. Click. Got it. Good. Now this one here, it works, but we gotta darken it up a little. Yeah. That one. No. And it clicked too. Nice. While I was under here, I noticed that line is not parallel. Oh, that air filter's not in there. Get that out. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. What am I hitting? Oh, yeah, got it. Yeah. Let's see what this guy looks like. Yeah. Let's do the right thing and tap that out. That's fine. It's clipped in, it's gonna be better than letting fresh. Oh, that is dirty on there. Well, I suppose that's water under the bridge at this point. At least we'll get it clipped in now. Let's see, are those broken? No, they're not broken. They just weren't in there. I think I need a 10 millimeter there. Hinge that in. Yep, I'll pull that off. Stand by. Got a little bit of rust on there. We're just gonna put a little bit on there. Oh, okay. Probably normal noises. Okay. Oh. Crunchy. Good. Over there. Yeah. Here. Stand by. Okay. Got that off. We're gonna hold the air filter in and make sure that both of those lock. Oh, that was only one. That's both of them. Clips on there. Good. Before that clamp goes back on, that wire is not going to stay on that nub. So I'm going to give it a squeeze, and if it breaks, we'll change out the clamp. Stand by. That was right quick and in a hurry. That is much better. So back on here, hop on the old struggle bus. Yep. Come on. Yep. There. Got it. Slide that on. There's got to be some entertainment value in watching me struggle. Could make that easier. Could loosen that a little bit. Much better. Grooves lined up, like somebody cares. Left-handed. I guess I'm amphibious. Yeah. Yeah. Click. Torqued. Done with that one. Time for a load test. Probably good. I think this side is a SAD cable side. Yep. There. Good clean connection. Let's see, we'll do, I don't know, can't read any stickers. 250 amps? Sure. We're in the green. Oh, well, see something smoking here. Probably fine. Were you looking at your watch when I started? Oh, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. That's got to be 20 seconds by now. Turn that down a little. 250. And we pass. We're in the green. Ooh. Excellent. All right, we got to address this battery. Well, is that going to be a problem? Yeah, get in there, test that current. Huh. Well, all right. Thought that was going to be exciting for you. Let's see, we got technician grade. Not professional or heavy duty, just tech grade. Battery cleaner. Change its color. I'll bet it will. Oh, nice. Nice. Am I supposed to wait for that to finish or something? Yeah. Read label. Spray liberally. I don't like the sound of that. Soak for a few minutes. Use a wire brush. No, okay. That was plenty of time. Top coat. That is probably going to be fine. Oh, there's still some leaves. While I got this out, let's go back over here. Get the old common rot spot. Oh yeah, get those wet leaves out of there. Just vacuum. That's happier. That'll last a few more years. We'll do the other side. Off camera. I was continuing on with the bulb check on the exterior of the vehicle and noticed that the brake lights did not work from the brake pedal. The center mounted high stop lamp on the back of the cab, as well as either taillight, nothing was coming on. So that kind of makes sense when I look at the scan tool and we have a P0504, which is brake switch AB correlation. On the brake switch, there is two circuits. One of them is normally closed, one is normally open, and the computer monitors that they are not both in the same state at the same time, which would indicate a bad brake switch. So that kind of makes sense now with the remote starter causing the problem. It never recognized that a brake pedal was pushed and would not turn the vehicle off during normal driving, which is probably why it wasn't noticed until now. So when the brake pedal switch failed, then the truck would continue running from the bad remote start module. So we're going to do a little more digging. I'll probably pull the switch. Nope, I'm going to go in and see if I can see that signal in the computer and see if it switches. Be right back. I have the scan tool plugged in and we're pulling up stoplight switch 1 and 2. They're both on the same state, so there is something wrong. They should not do that. I'm going to push on the brake pedal. We see one of them go to on and the other one stays off. Let me see if I can get the other one to see if I can get any change for stoplight switch 2. I am not getting any change on that, so it may be wiring, but I think it's switch. I'm going to pull the switch, and we'll check it with a multimeter, see if we get the same lack of state change on a pair of contacts. Switch is out, and I've connected to the lower or smaller contacts in here. And let's see what we get. Okay, that seems okay. I'm going to switch over to the other contacts and we'll see what we get. So I am now on the larger contacts. These go to the brake light bulbs on the rear of the vehicle. So I would expect this one, the way the switch is mounted, the plunger is extended when the brake pedal is depressed, and then when the brake pedal is released, it would push us in. And we have no contact. So it should be beeping when this is extended, which is when the pedal is depressed. And we have no connection on those leads. So we're gonna replace the switch. I'm not even gonna bother opening it up to try and clean or bend contacts with it. We're gonna get a replacement in there. The next issue we're gonna work with is the tire pressure monitor system light is on or blinking, even when the tires are full of air or when the reset's held in to set the pressure. So we scanned it, and we have, turn it this way, we have 3 codes, C21, 21, 22, and 24. And that is, cannot receive A data from the transmitter, ID 1, 2, and 4. So maybe it's getting data, but not A data. Truck's a little over 15 years old. Batteries are probably at that point where they're going dead in the sensors. And the customer is requesting that I just disable the system. So we're going to do that instead of replacing all 4 or 5. It might be one on the spare. Instead of replacing all the monitors, we're just going to disable the light on the dash. Not sure if I'm going to pull power to the separate module that controls that or simply disconnect the light. And we'll see when we get into the wiring a little bit. I'll probably pull the glove box out and poke through some of the wires, see what triggers that. I think it's a blue wire or a green wire from other years. So we'll look this one up, check it. I think we're going to be cutting that wire and then either tying it to ground on its way to the dash or bringing it to 12 volt. This was somewhere around the point where they switched what years controlled what and what method. So we'll poke around in the schematics online a little bit and then get into the physical wiring and see what state it needs to keep the light off. And we'll deal with it that way. The wiring diagram says that wire runs through connector IJ1, and it tells me that it is behind the glove box. So I remove that, and there is our connector, and there is that blue wire. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Try to get in there. So that blue wire is 3rd down from the top on the close side of the connector to the camera. So I'm going to take the razor blade out, cut this tape a little bit, and see where we can get some wire to cut it. Hopefully put a set of connectors on there so it can go back in place if somebody wants it to, and figure out where we have to tie that wire to. Back in a minute. Cut the tape, pull that connector out a little bit, and then we are ready to cut the wire. I'm going to put the phone down, figure out the polarity that the wire needs to go to keep the light off. I have stripped back the wire that comes out of the top of that connector. It's important to get the correct end of that blue wire. Put a clip on it, And it is going to get connected to my Chinese power probe. It's a Godiag GT101. It works out well. You'll hear the two different beeps. If I give the probe 12 volts, you get the fast beep. If I go the other way, for ground, you will get the slow beep. We will hook the test clip onto the end. It says it's grounded. Don't really care about that status right now. We will turn the key on. And you can see tire pressure monitor light is blinking. I will go to 12 volts. And that light stops blinking. So we just need to find, hopefully on the same connector in the same circuit, a 12 volt source to tie that wire to that's fused on the same type of circuit to make troubleshooting easier later on. And if I disconnect the 12 volts, that light starts blinking again. So that is how we're going to get rid of it. Okay, that wire is connected to the blue wire from the second connector down. That one is supposed to have switched with ignition 12 volts. Tied that to the blue, bundle it in. While we're under here, it's always fun to play that game of what's in the cabin air filter. Oh, not quite a jackpot, but enough in there that we're going to put a new filter in. Let's see if we can pull it out without dropping anything in. We're going to get the vacuum in there first, then slide that out. I don't want to lose any of the nuts down into the fan blades. And I guess that's it. Come over, jam the key in, and we'll make sure that that light's off. Doesn't even come on for test. Good. We are done with that task. That is one of the ones on the list here. Number 4. I guess we're out of order here. So, okay. The tire pissy's light. That one's off. ABS and traction control is the next one. I got a feeling that that is going to be tied in with the brake circuit issue. So that might have resolved itself. Maybe I'll put the oscilloscope on there, the signal monitor on the scan tool, and look at wheel speed sensors. Make sure that all 4 of them look good. And I think the next section is going to be the rear window diagnosis. All right, pulled it out. The mouse had chewed the entire corner off, but nothing dropped in. I was able to vacuum out in there. But look at the amount of some debris, a lot of mouse poop. A lot going on in there. Kind of the light's in the way of the phone here. Yep, so we'll slide a new one in. Okay, that new filter is clipped in. Much nicer looking. There was a complaint of the power rear window not working from the switch on the rear door. However, from the front switches, you could control it. So I came back here to the rear switch and played with it a little bit. I could get the window to go down from it, but not up from it. So pulled it out, did a couple of voltage checks, and found that I wasn't getting power out of the switch to reverse polarity, bring the motor up. I was able to just yank on it kind of hard and get the window to operate once to confirm. Where is it here? It worked just a minute ago. Well, anyway, I was able to confirm that by pushing on the switch really hard, I was able to get the window to go up. So we're going to be replacing the switch. The switch slides in to the rear and then clips down in the front with that metal clip. I suppose there's a way to lift it out, but this one did not want to, and seemed like I was going to start bending or breaking something. So I just pulled out the screw in the door handle, the screw down in the other door handle, pull the bottom clips of the door off, and then lift the whole door up and out after you pull this piece. There was a couple of broken clips in there, so while I was in there, replaced the clips. There was one missing, one broken, and I think it was another broken one on the side there. So that is all put back together. When the new switch comes in, I can just plug it in and snap it down from the top, and that'll be done. I think the only thing left was an issue with the radio, and I think that's going to be resolved with a replacement. Poor reception, as well as the volume control on the radio not working, but the volume control from the steering column works. So I'll verify antenna continuity from there to the back of the radio, make sure it's not shorted, and that it does connect to the metal piece on the outside. If I do that and reception is still poor, I will probably be looking for a used radio on eBay and put that in, resolve both the volume control and the poor reception at once. Otherwise, I would probably try to clean the switch contacts on the volume control. I played with the switch a little more, and I was able to find if I put a pick into the back of the switch and push up on it, I could get the window to go up, and the switch will allow it to go down. So we'll be putting a replacement switch in there. There was an exhaust leak, and when I looked underneath to see what was leaking, one of the hanger brackets from the exhaust had rotted off the side of the frame, caused the donut gaskets, both on the Y pipe and the catalytic converter, to fail. And while I was under there looking, the U-joint is bad to the rear. Unfortunately, the reason why it rotted off is there's sections of the frame missing. So I think when I go to weld that bracket back on, I'm going to put a plate under the bottom to at least try to save what I can and get a few more years out of it. All right, we got the rust scaler out. We're going to knock some rust out of here. See what we can do. Kind of open. I think we're going to worry more about this side. Let's see what we can patch up. Some of it's on the floor already. All right. We swept up the pile of what's left of the frame. And here's what we got. For an idea here. Cross member comes through. It's pretty solid through here. And then when you look from the inside, there's really not a whole lot left here. You got remnants of a body mount here. The whole back of it's not tied to anything. Not a whole lot left to the frame. There's some decent material up top. think we're gonna try and do a patch from here to here, and then tie into this, or at least tie into the motor mount, or the cab mount. I can close in this cab mount back to, here's actually the corner of the frame. That'd be good. Get that material filled in. Maybe I'll try and cut a strip from here all the way up, and we'll weld that on. It's got a little bit of an S-bend. I think that's probably the best thing to do. It gets 80% of what's missing. The other side's not as bad. I got a section on the bottom that's missing, so I can go from here along here to this. Bottom of the cab mount's gone, but that's okay. At least from this cross member, this section's good. And we got a little bit of a hole from here, and the inside of that cab mount is missing. Not terrible. We'll work on the passenger side first. The patch is welded on. We got a little bit of rot behind it. Factory hole above it. And this flange here comes down the catcher's side of the plate, runs up to the front, and we lap to here. This piece is rolled under. Got a weld there. New plate on the bottom, and you can see where it's still rotted and open to the front. And I put a strap here to come up on the side. It'll hold it for a little while. And a little bit of paint on there to kind of hide things, make it look like you care a little. Tied in. Still a big rot hole on the inside. Makes a corner. Should be strong enough. Next up is going to be trying to fix the exhaust leak. I'm not sure that the donut gasket is leaking. I don't see anything around it that looks like a gap in there, but we got one just in case. I think the problem is this one. The bolts are just pins in a wallered out hole, and they move around and rattle. This hanger was missing before, so I welded that back onto the frame. I think that'll keep it together, and we just have to get a gasket in there. The one I ordered, it's on the floor now, is this one. It looks too big, but did a couple of checks on the size. It's a 2 1/4 ID gasket, and that measures 2 inch to 1/4. So I guess we're close. I am going to either grind the head off that screw or sawzall it and separate that pipe, and we're going to try and slide a gasket in. If that doesn't work, then there's a good chance that just gets welded closed and becomes permanent. We'll see what we can do with a bolt and this gasket. Okay, I cut the bolts off. We got a pry bar running to the back, and I can open that up without damaging anything else. So I'm going to drop that gasket in, close it up, and figure out if I need to weld something on that flange for a nut. Well, I got it in there, got it tightened up. Focus. And that gasket's loose between the flanges. Well, it's not going to work, or it's not going to work long. So I either have to do something to bend the flange back where the bolt goes, or turn that gasket 90 degrees so that there is no gasket where the bolt is and let it sandwich in the middle. Or we're going to go with no gasket, bolt it close, and weld it up. I think I'm going to try turning the gasket 90 degrees first. All right, more underneath. There's still a leak at the top. So we are going to be welding that up. All the safety. It is now welded up. Doesn't look so pretty, but nonetheless, welded all the way around. Getting to the top wasn't the easiest, but we got up there and laid plenty of weld up top. It's not going to leak, shouldn't fail. Done with that. Now we move on to the back, and we can deal with that universal. Before that falls out of there. Alright, I used the tool on the drive shaft and pull that off. We're going to do it in place. This tool pushes the top cap off. Like that. And once the caps are off, the U-joint falls out. So we get to do it right on the vehicle. Save some time. The new U-joint is in. Be sure to grease it. And don't drop the needle bearings. It almost got me, but I was able to keep them in there. And grease the other ones while you're under here. The rear one hadn't seen grease for a while. Not sure if grease would have saved it, but it wouldn't have hurt. So we got a brake light switch and the rear power window switch, and then address the radio reception. And we are done. Scan codes one more time, make sure the brake light switch works. Test drive it, then we're done. That's it for the video, I think. I don't think I'm going to bother with taking a video of snapping the switch in.